La Liga versus Serie A. It was Napoli who came out on top this past midweek. And of course, Arsenal sidestepped an Irish hurdle in Dundalk. We'll talk about that and much more in the latest Europa League predictions. And guess what? We are not live, but let's go. Right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we're taking a look at Matchday number 3 and the Europa League, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Europa League related, world football in here. We're going to do here, boys. That's right, good boys and girls, of course. Plenty of action. I was planning to do these picks live, but unfortunately things are a little bit crazy at the moment with work and things like that. But I want a big shout out to you guys. And of course, if you're new, make sure you bang the thumbs up, bang subscribe. But I want a big shout out to the patrons supporting the channel in a VIP way behind the scenes. Do appreciate it. And in fact, over the past couple of days, we've actually had a couple more patrons. 3, in fact. We'll tell you from the back of the week there. It was, of course, Shane O'Donnell. He became the first patron, of course, this week. Of course, alongside Ahmed Sochi as well. A big shout out to him as well. But of course, just overnight, we've had another one. That's right, Miles Austin, a.k.a. He's actually known as Natusha A, but of course you'll know him in the picks as that. But I do appreciate the support, guys. You are absolutely kingpins. I do appreciate it. And if anyone else is out there, I'm actually looking for one more, technically 2 more to make it 25. A perfect number to head into the month of November. But 1 more, and then definitely the hair's gone. Even though I'm probably going to shave it off anyway because Nathan Heaver's already called me out on it, so it's probably going to happen. But yeah, if anyone else wants to make the jump and become a patron of the channel, get stuck in the old description down below, patreon.com/Roversies. But anyway, we're going to jump in the deep end now because I've got to plough forward on these, recording this right before the old Blackburn Rovers Swansea City watch along. So we're going to get into it, take a look at how I got on first, and then we'll take a look at how you guys got on, of course, and I'll bring you up to date with, of course, the latest Europa League leaderboard in the Prediction League. Here we go. Just a reminder, yes, we are here to talk about the Europa League, and of course, the Prediction League will come. Of course, kicking it all off, it was Roma against Sofia. That ended up as a 0-0 draw in the end. Actually, went about 3-0 for Roma. My picks on the left, the real deal was on the right as we go through all these. So no score there. A bit of an upset that, I think, for Roma. I think they were looking for to bring home the points at home. Club Cluj. Cluj took on BS, the Young Boys Burn out of Switzerland. That ended up all square, 1-1 in the end. I'll try and find you the goal scorers. It's a little bit hard on this one. Rondon Fernandez on the score for Cluj. Christian Fastnacht, which is a donut. Out the US, of course, giving a Young Boys Born a share of the spoils there. 2 quick-fire goals in the middle of the second half to give themselves a share of the points. Of course, Arsenal did beat Dundalk 3-0. Called it, lads. Absolutely called it. Eddie Nketiah on the score sheet. Joseph Willock as well. And Nicholas Pepe made it 3-0. I got that one bang on the nose, lads. Bang on the pissing nose. I did all right. Not brilliant this week, but I did okay. Of course, Mulder took on Rapid Vienna. That ended up as a 1-0 win for Mulder. Big result for them. Called it, lads. Absolutely got a bang on the nose. Hoji Omaginofo on the score sheet for Mulder to give themselves a 3 points. A bad boy in that one. Of course, Slavia Prague then upset the apple cart, beaten by Leverkusen. That was one of the surprises, of course, this week. Peter Olaji Okalianka on the score sheet for Slavia Prague, the one and only goal. Karim Belarabi getting himself sent off for Leverkusen as they lost away to Slavia Prague. Big result for them. And meanwhile, a nice result for Nice. They took care of business against Hapoel Warszawa 1-0. The only goal scorer was Amni Gorci on the score sheet. Well, I'm playing forward here. So yeah, 1-0 on the day. Actually, with a 2-0 win myself. Ain't too shabby, pals. Ain't too shabby, by the way. And see you, by the way, over in Glasgow. Rangers to get a business against Lok Poznan, of course, out of Poland. 1-0 on the day. Morelos on the score sheet on the 68th minute to give them the win. Actually went with a 2-0 win. Look, there's a good block here of 5 pretty much bang on the nose, or close, except for the Prague by Leverkusen game. Meanwhile, Benfica did take care of business against Stade Liège. 3-0 on the day. Actually went with a 3-1 win myself. Pizzi on the score sheet. Gianluca Waldschmidt as well from the penalty spot. And Pizzi as well got himself a second goal on that one to take care of the points there. Meanwhile, Granada against PAOK out of Greece. End up 0-0 in the end. Actually with a 2-1 win. So shame on me. Shame on me. Meanwhile, Olympic or Armonia Nicosia against PSV ended up as a 2-1 win in favour of the Dutchies. Doniel Marlon on score sheet with a couple of goals there. Jordi Gomez, ex-Rover, of course, on the score sheet for Nicosia. AZ Alkmaar did take care of business. HNK Rijeka, of course, the Eredivisie are the draw specialists out in the Dutchlands, of course. But they come out top with the win here. Albert Gibson with a couple of goals. Jesper Carlson as well. And Chun Cooper Mariners with a big fat penalty as well. Sandro Kulinovic on the score sheet for Rijeka as they got a consolation goal. But that was it. Of course, my boys, Sociedad lost to Napoli 1-0 on the day. What did I go with on this one? I went with a 2-2 draw. Napoli's goals come from Mattiano Politano on the score sheet. Victor Osimhen got himself sent off, so won't be there for the next game, which of course is the halfway mark, of course. AAK, I actually went with a 2-2 draw. AAK Athens against Leicester City was a 2-1 win for Leicester City, of course. Goal scorers on the day for Leicester City was Jamie Vardy, of course, goal scoring machine right now. Hamza Chowdhury on the score sheet as well. Muhammad Tankovic on the score sheet for Athens as they tried to claw themselves back into it, but unfortunately for them, no. Zorya Lugansk, they lost to Sporting Braga. Same group there, 2-1 win on the day. Braga with Paulinho on the score sheet, Nicholas Galatan as well. Dimitrina Ishanarina on score sheet for Zora as they tried to get himself back in there. Unfortunately, no. Actually, won the draw on that one. Shame on me. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, AC Zlatan. They did beat Sparta Prague. Called it 3-0 in the end. Brahim Diaz on the score sheet, Rafael Leao and Diego Dalot on the score sheet as AC Milan came out on top comfortably 3-0 in the end. Big game over in France. It was Lille against Celtic. They ended up 2-2. Actually, one of the 4-2 win for Lille, so a good point for them. Mohamed El Asozu on the score sheet with a couple of goals for Celtic. Mohamed Zekcelici and Jonathan Okoni on the score sheet for Lille as they managed to claw themselves back into it and get themselves a point. Meanwhile, Silversport against Maccabi Tel Aviv. That was a 2-1 win for Maccabi Tel Aviv, and the Israelis picked up the big fat surprise one there. Dan Bitton on score sheet for the Penalty Dor Peritz as well. Oramaji Kariodi on score sheet for Silversport, and Sam Makanamara getting himself sent off. Actually, with a draw on this one, but shame on me. Quarterback against Villarreal. Then there was a 3-1 win for Villarreal. Called it, lads. Got it bang on the nose. Yanni Pino on the score sheet with Paco Alcazar with a couple of goals. Kusu Quadabina on the score sheet with quarterback, giving themselves a shock lead, but it all went Pete Tong after that. It's actually it was 78th minute goal that for quarterback, but then quick fire 3 goals for Villarreal to take the 3 points. Lacitch against PFC Ludogorets Razgrad, and is a 4-3 7-goal thriller in favour of the Austrians. Hussein Balic, Andres Gruber, Marco Ragus, and a big fat OG from Oliver Verdun giving Lacitch the win there, with Elvis Manu with a hat-trick for Razgrad, unfortunately to no avail. He'll take the match ball home though. Lucas Grejic on the score, get himself sent off as the Austrians came out with the 3 points. Of course, no surprise though, Royal Antwerp beat Spurs 1-0, and Mourinho was pissed with this one. Lodeo Revelov on the score sheet for Antwerp to give themselves a 3 points at home and to turn that group on its head. CSK Sevilla against Dynamo Zagreb was a ball draw on that one. Actually went with a 1-1 draw as well, so ain't too shabby, buds. Ain't too shabby. The final against Wolfsberger actually went in favour of the Austrians, 4-1 win in the end. Michael Lendl with a hat-trick, 2 penalties as well in that hat-trick, and Dijan Jovic got another penalty, 3 penalties out of the 4 goals for Wolfsberger as they came out on the top of the big fat W. Steven Bourgeois on score sheet for final. He's scoring goals for fun, and in the Dutchies is adding to his tally in the Europa League, but unfortunately they lost. Ghent against Hoffenheim ended a 4-1 win, I believe. Is that correct? 4-1 win in favour of Hoffenheim. I think it was a 4-1 win. Can't see it right now. Blinded. There it is. It is 4-1 win. Isha Befoldo on final penalty spot. Florian Grittelsch, Majak Kacinovic, and Musina Dabur on score sheet for half-an-hour, with Tim Kleindenst on score sheet for Ghent as they lost. Actually, one of the 3-1 win myself. Ain't too shabby. And Red Star Belgrade did smash Slovan Liberec 5-1 in the end, with El Faradou Mohamed Ben Yorodane with a couple of goals there. Milan Gacic as well. Alexander Katat and Diego Falcinelli on the score sheet for Red Star Belgrade. Slovan Liberec just won a goal coming from Yang Mustesh as they got spanked. Actually went with the draw on this one, and as you can see, I did myself around about 12 or 13, something like that, which is okay, but not brilliant. But let's have a look at how you guys got on then, shall we? The jump of the deep end, of course, is the criteria that you need to meet. 0 to 9, you're in the shit-face gang. None of those, I don't think. 10 to 16, you're in the straight-face club. And 17 plus, top and 9, I don't think there's any of those. I think we're all in here. I think it's been pretty, bit of a... I need to maybe move the goalposts on the scoring criteria. So, let's get into it. Cody Gaho kicking us off with a big fat W. Well done, brother. Well done indeed. Of course, Nathan Eva also did very, very well. Well done to you, brother. Well done, of course, pictures with a bit of love there. Erishki Sharishka did okay. Dimitrov not too bad. Alex Weller not too bad as well. Bianca Mulder, she did well, did very well as well. Yannick Bustler not too shabby. Liam 2000 also did very well. Keaton's Murray did bits. Hunza not too shabby as well. Shane O'Donnell, of course, patron, new to the scene, but of course very, very well. Ultra Omira also did very, very well as well. Shepherd, Kingpin, look at him. We're looking at kicking ass and taking names. Well done, brother. Sammy Adu did also do very, very well. Hansworth not too shabby. SKR did alright. Master Fighter did bits. Matt Gunn also did very, very well. Simples 976 also did kicking ass and taking names. Russell Voss also did the same as well. Adrian 22 not too bad. Bossy Matter with an edit, not too bad as well. Gearan also did very, very well. Gaming Charlie not too shabby. Club Skills did bits. We are QBR ain't too bad. Joshua 17 not too shabby. And Nicholas Murkus also did very, very well. Costas K, he's okay. Green Fighter from the North, he did alright. Zigga Z did bits. And Owen Escaville, the Mexican Kingpin right at the end there, also kicking ass. ass and taking names. So this, of course, everybody, pretty much smiling. No one's in a bit of discomfort just yet. But this is the leaderboard for this week, and this is where you'll see. I got myself about 12 or 13, which is okay. Oh, there they are, the strugglers of the foot there. But of course, this week and this week alone, your kingpin is as Sammy I do. Well done, 16 out of like 24 matches there. It's tough. It is tough. And as if I was in this leaderboard, which I should be in there, I'll be around about 20th with Alex, Bianca, and Kieran, and the chasing pack, of course. But that's just week 2. Who is your Europa League kingpin at the moment? Well, let's bring it on. Who is your overall leader in the Europa League? Bow down to your king or queen. Who could it be? Let's give a round of applause. It is, right here, right now, Matt Goddard, kicking ass and taking names. 63% success rate so far out in the Europa League. So kudos to him. Of course, hot on his heels is Russell Foss. Yannick Buster also in the top 2 or 3. Bianca Muller's not too far away, as is Shane O'Donnell, as Shepard. Of course, patrons are doing very well this time around. I'm in there somewhere. I'm Escaville, Kudigo, and Nathan Eva in the middle cluster there. But of course, it is still early days. Only match number 2, folks. We're right into match number 3 right here, right now. So let's jump in the deep end and take a little gander. Okay, now before we jump in the deep end and take a look at the latest round picks, let's take a look at the situation out in the tables. Out in Group A, Cluj leading the charge at the moment with 4 points out of a possible 6. Roma not too far behind as well. Young Boys Burn, CSK Sevilla have to do a bit of catch up. Meanwhile, Arsenal leading the charge alongside Moldova. 2 wins out of 2 for both those two sides. Of course, Vienna and Dundalk need to play catch up. Into Group C, what do we have in Group C? We have Leverkusen leading the charge. It's actually everyone's on 3 points on this one. Very, very tight. Could go either way. Could go any which way you like. Meanwhile, in Group D, it's Benfica and Rangers again. Back-to-back wins for them. Of course, they'll lock horns in a double bubble. Of course, it's the middle one where you take on each other one way and then you flip it around to the next week and then you take them on each other the other way. So yeah, those two will be locking horns this coming week, so that'll be interesting. Granada leading the charge out in Group E, of course, over PSV by 1 point there. Of course, it's still wide open. Anyone can get out of it, still out of Group E. Meanwhile, AZ Alkmaar lead the charge over Napoli. Sociedad, my boys, are struggling at the moment in their 3rd spot in Group F. Into Group G, Leicester leading the charge alongside Braga, and again, they'll meet in the midway stage here to see who will get control of the group, basically. 6 points out of 6 for both of those two sides. Group H is Milan leading the charge, 2 points clear of Lille. Celtic also, it's not out of the equation just yet, but they need to get some results if they're going to get out of this group. Group I, Villarreal leading the charge alongside Maccabi Tel Aviv. Both of those two sides on 6 points as it stands. Silversport and Qarabag need to get results, and again, they'll be locking horns themselves. Group J is Antwerp leading the charge, back-to-back wins for them. Tottenham, same points as Lacitch, and that's going to get fruity as we enter the match number 3 stage there. And Group K, Wolfsburg lead the charge, 4 points out of a possible 6. CSK Moscow and Zagreb, back-to-back draws for them. They'll need results in the next one, of course. Final so far in the wooden spoon contest at the bottom of there. And Group L, Hoffenheim lead the charge, back-to-back wins for them. Red Star and Liberec level on 3 points. Ghent need to up their game. But here we go, boys and girls. We're going to take a look at the next round of matches, of course. Kicking all off with Roma against CFR Cluj. Now, these two sides have played each other in the past, around about 4 times, I think. And it's actually been 2 wins for Roma, 1 win for Cluj, and 1 draw. Last time they played each other was in Cluj. It was back in 2010. It was a 1-1 draw in the end with Traore, Lancina Traore on the score for Cluj, with Marco Borriello on the score for Roma in a 1-1 draw. However, last time they played each other in Italy was a 2-1 win for Roma. Philip Mexis on the score sheet, Marco Borriello as well, with Ayat Rado on the score sheet for Cluj. Heading into this, Cluj are actually undefeated in their last 7 matches in the Europa League, and they come into this an unbeaten run of 5 games in all competitions, both in Europa League and over in Romania. Meanwhile, Roma are the same deal, unbeaten in 5, picking up 3 wins and 2 draws in the process. Quick look at the odds on this one then, shall we? That's going to be all right. No, on rat's nest here. 11-4 on Roma, Stone Cold favourites. 4-1 is your 30-2 is your away win. That is Cluj on this one. I'm going to go with a cheeky little bad boy in this one. Going with Roma. Yes, I am, with a 2-0 win in the end. Again, be sure to get your predictions nice and early down the foot of the table there as we edge closer to the kickoff. Next up, Young Boys Burn against CSK Sevilla, should I say. These two have never played each other in the past, according to my knowledge, but heading into this, CSK Sevilla are actually looking for their first win in at least 5 games. 4 draws and a defeat in their last 5. That defeat was against Cluj last time around in the Europa League, or a couple of games back in the Europa League. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Young Boys Burn just won once in the past 4 games across all competitions as well. That was out in the Swiss League against Luzern in the Swiss top flight. Of course, heading into this, these two sides, again, at the bookies odds on this one. What do we have on this? It's Young Boys against CSK Sevilla. Where the heck are you? I've got to do the old the move here. Let's see what we can. The Young Boys actually 7-4 on Stone Cold favourites. 3-1 is your 92 is your away win. That is CSK Sevilla on this one. I am going to go with a 2-1 win in favour of the Young Boys Burn to get themselves another win, and again, hopefully move them a little bit closer to the tip of the top. Meanwhile, Rapid Vienna taking on Dundalk, of course. These two sides have never played each other in the past, but heading into this, Rapid Vienna actually just 1 win in the past 3. As for Dundalk, just no wins in the past 3. They're actually winless in 3, actually pointless in 3 as well. well. The last victory was over in the Irish top flight against Derry City. It was a 2-1 win away days back in the middle of October. Of course, Rapid Vienna have actually lost the last 4 matches in the Europa League, so they'll be looking to get themselves at least something out of this game, especially at home. Quick look at the odds on this one, because there's a butt ton of games. It's 92 on for Rapid Vienna, 11-2 for the draw. 10-1 is Dundalk on this. Long shots, of course. I do expect, I'm going to go with Rapid Vienna on this one. I do hope that Dundalk gets some points and maybe something positive for them to in the Europa League campaign, but I don't think it's going to happen this time around. So 1-0 win for Rapid Vienna on this one. Next up, of course, Arsenal taking on Molde. Now, these two sides haven't played each other in the past. Molde come into this 5-game winning run across both Europa League and the Norwegian top flight. However, Arsenal come to this in a bit of hokey-pokey form at the moment. We're winning 3 and losing 2 the past 5 games, of course. Heading into this, the bookies' odds on these ones. What do we have on this one? Do I see it? I kind of see it. They must have the Arsenal odds on this one. We do. It's a 10-3 on Arsenal. Are you stone cold favourites? 92 is your draw, and 8-1 is your away win. That is Molde. Of course, this is the halfway mark. These two sides will lock horns once again in the real world. Do the game in London, and then next time around it'll be over in Norway. But I'm going to go with Arsenal on this one. Comfortably 3-1 win in the end. The game in Molde might be a little bit different. Hapoel taking on Bayer Leverkusen. Of course, these two sides have never played each other in the past. Again, of course not. But of course, heading into this, Bayer Leverkusen not too bad form at the moment, but they did lose last time around in the Europa League against Sparta Prague. They get on Freiburg, of course, this weekend in the Bundesliga, so that'll be interesting. Away days, of course. But they come into this just 1 defeat the past 5. Same can be said for the hosts. Hapoel 1 defeat the past 5. They also lost to Nice, which isn't very nice, as they lost in the Europa League. However, before that, unbeaten in 4, including Europa League action, and of course, Israeli top flight as well. Heading into this, the bookies' odds on this one. What do we have on this? I'm going to try and find them on the old bloody well thing. 7-1, Hapoel, long shots. 11-4 is your favourites. That is Bayer Leverkusen. 4-1 is your draw. Again, you know what? I'm going with Bayer Leverkusen. I'm going to side with what you should go with, really. Realistically, Leverkusen should come out top with a win here and there, even though they've been a little bit hokey-pokey so far in the Europa League. Next up, we've got in the same group, Slavia Prague taking on Nice, which is very, very nice. Now, these two sides have actually played each other once in the past. It was a friendly, I believe. There might have been more than once, and it was a 4-1 win for Slavia Prague. Back in 2017, Milan Skoda with a couple of goals, and Mick Van Buren as well to give Slavia Prague the 4-1 win. Oliver Buscolagli on the score sheet for Nice. Heading into this, Nice just 1 win the past 3. That was, of course, against Hapoel just the other day. But realistically, if you open up that form book a little bit more, actually 1 defeat the past 5. Of course, that was against Bayer Leverkusen. 6-2 loss. They smashed Leverkusen, smashed Nice, but they crumbled to Prague just the other day. So Prague on the other end, 2 wins of the past 3 for them, and they're looking pretty good at the moment. Anyway, heading into this, what are the odds on these guys then? Slavia Prague 21-20 favourites for this one. 5-2 is your away win. That is Nice, which is not very nice. 12-5 is your draw. I'm going with a draw. I am going with a draw. I'm playing it safe on this one. I just can't go. Can't make my mind up. Meanwhile, Lech Poznan taking on Standard Liège. Now, these two sides have never played each other in the past. It's Polish Super League or Polish Premier League up against the Jupiler League out in the Premier out in Belgium, of course. These two sides come into this in absolute terrible form and pretty much identical form. 3, just 1 win in the past 5 for Standard Liège. That was against Charleroi and the Belgian Jupiler League. That was all the way back at the start of the month. Meanwhile, Poznan come into this also 1 win in the past 5. That was against Glubici at the start of the month as well. Of course, both sides come into this now 3. Winless in 4, looking for a result, of course. So this could go either way, and I'm probably signing with a draw if I'm completely honest with you. Let's take a closer look at the odds then, shall we? Do we have them? We should have them. Lech Poznan is 6-5 for the victory. 11-5 is Standard Liège. 12-5 is the draw. I'm going with a draw. I can't separate these two sides. I really can't. Their form book looks shaky. I'm not too big a believer of the odds on this one, so we'll go with a draw. 1-1 in the end. Benfica though against Rangers, of course, battle of the top on this one, and in Group D. Now these two sides never played each other in the past, but they've been locking horns, and they're actually critical and horrible looking. I won't say horrible, but identical form. Both won 5 on the spin, both across domestic football and of course our Europa League. Coming into this, Rangers have actually won the last 5 matches in the Europa League, whereas Benfica have actually scored at least 3 goals in the last 3 matches as well in the Europa League. So yeah, Rangers picking up crucial wins against Celtic, Standard Liège, Livingston, of course, Lech Poznan just the other day, actually keeping 5 clean sheets to boot. However, on the flip side, Benfica coming to this, they've actually also winning 5 on the spin, but they've also conceded a few goals, conceded 4 goals in the past 5, so not as clean cut as Rangers at the moment. Rangers looking very, very clinical at the moment. The odds on this one 5-4 for Benfica. They are the favourites. 16-5 is your away win. That is Rangers. 11-4 is the draw on this one, and I think that's where my money is. I'm going with a 2-2 draw. A couple of goals there for Benfica. speaker, which will be against the run of the grain at the moment, but Rangers taking an away point. I think they'll be happy with that. Armenia and Nicosia taking on Granada. Now, these two sides have never played each other in the past, but Granada are actually undefeated in their last 5 matches in the Europa League. They come into this actually not just 5 games unbeaten in the Europa League, they're also 5 games unbeaten both across domestic and European action, of course, picking up 3 wins, 2 draws in the process. Meanwhile, Nicosia just 1 loss in the past 5. That was, of course, against PSV and Eindhoven just the other day. Of course, managed by, of course, ex-Rovers legend Henning Berg, I believe. Hopefully that's still the case. But anyway, heading into this, what are the odds on this one then? Granada are actually, Nicosia are actually 10-3 for the victory. 11-5 is draw. 11-10 on. It is your odds for Granada on this one. I'm going to go with Granada, even though I like Cyprus. Got a soft spot for them bad boys. Of course, I've got a soft spot for Henning Berg and his gang. But it's going to be a 3-0 win for Granada in the end. Meanwhile, over in Greece, it'll be PAOK taking on PSV Eindhoven. Now, these two sides have played each other a fair few times, according to my knowledge. But in the last 6, it's been 4 wins for PSV, 2 wins for PAOK, no draws. At the back, the past 2 have been kind of friendlies. I'm not really reading into those too much. But the last time they played each other in competitive action was in the Europa League, or what it was called, I think, UEFA Cup in 2001. It was a 4-1 win for PSV. Jan Vega of Hesselglink on the score sheet with a couple of goals there. Georgi Kirkadze as well, with Mark Van Bommel from the penalty spot. Janikis Okalakis on the score sheet for PAOK on this one. However, last time I played each other in Greece was a 3-2 win for PAOK. That's right, goodness gracious me. John De Jong on the score sheet, Arno Bruznik. Oh, quality names. Some really quality names there for me from my past. Yush Kamaskis on a couple of score sheets there. Goal scores for PAOK and Udinese as well for PAOK. Anyway, heading into this, PSV just 1 win in the past 3. That was against the Nicosia last time around. Back-to-back defeats prior to that. Meanwhile, on the flip side, unbeaten in 4 is PAOK, picking up 3 draws and 1 win in the past 4. Look at the odds on this one. What do we have on this? We have 6-4 for PAOK, the host, 23-10 is draw, 9-5 is your away win. That is PSV. Tough one, this one, but I'm going to go with PSV on this one to take it to the house and maybe bring on the 3 points. Of course, next up, my boys Sociedad take it on AZ Alkmaar, leaders at the moment out in Group F. Now, these two sides never played each other in the past, but Sociedad come into this pretty good form despite the loss last round against Napoli. It's just 1 loss of the past 5. Before that, it was 4 games, a winning run, both across domestic and European action. Meanwhile, AZ Alkmaar are unbeaten. They're unbeaten across the board, it looks like, I think. Or did they lose? No. They're unbeaten. They've not really done anything in the Eredivisie. They're just drawing games at the moment. But they are winning games in Europe. So unbeaten. Frustratingly, they need to be doing better off out in the Dutch fight. But coming into this with at least a 5-game unbeaten run, but probably more than that. Quick look at the odds then. 20-11 on Real Sociedad. Your favourites, 3-1 is draw. 90-4 is your away win. That is AZ Alkmaar. I'm going to go and give it to Real Sociedad the W on this one to maybe put the first blip on AZ Alkmaar's season so far. So that's that. Meanwhile, same group, HNK Rijeka taking on Napoli. These two sides haven't played each other in the past, but Napoli coming to second in this group. Rijeka coming to this 4th. Napoli coming to this one defeat at the past 4 across both Europe and out in the top flight out in Italy. Meanwhile, back-to-back defeats for Rijeka, and they've both been in the Europa League. Meanwhile, games over in the Czech top flight. I don't know, have they been postponed, rescheduled? I don't know, but the last game was postponed. Anyway, heading into this, of course, the bookies' odds on this one. Will the second placed Napoli do very, very well against HNK Rijeka? Well, the odds are 50-2 in favour. Well, not 50-2 for Rijeka for the victory. 50-4 is your 11-4 on. Napoli are your stone cold favourites on this one. That's where I'm going. I'm going with a comfortable 3-0 win away from home for Napoli. Next up, Soya Lugashch against AEK Athens out in Greece, of course. This one's out in Ukraine. These two sides have never played each other in the past, but so the bottom 2, Locking Horns, of course, 3rd against 4th. Athens coming to this 3rd. Zora coming to this in 4th. Zora have actually conceded at least 2 goals in the last 4 matches in the Europa League, but they come into this just 1 win in the past 5 games, of course. That was against Lviv out in Ruka Lviv out in the Ukrainian Premier League. Meanwhile, on the flip side, same can be said for Athens, just 1 win in the past 5 for them. I was against PAS Giangina out in the Greek top flight. So yeah, both 2 teams looking for results, both at home and of course in the Europa League. Of course, look at the odds on this one. What do we have on this? What do we have on this? I can't find them. It's so many games. It's hard to keep up. It's 70-10 for Zora. 94 is a draw. 8-5 is your away win for Athens on this one. It's tough. I'm going with the draw. Can't really separate the 2 sides. Make sure you have a crack at it yourselves. That's just Sydney take our Sport of Prague. Of course, battle of the big boys on this one. First against second. Of course, identical goals difference as well. These 2 sides cannot be separated on paper. Anyway, heading into this, Leicester actually winning the past 3 games on a spin. Same could be, well, actually, Braga actually coming to this 5-game winning run, and they're looking very, very solid as well. Of course, Leicester's last last defeat was against Aston Villa in a bit of a derby back in the middle of October, but since then it's been win. Meanwhile, Braga have actually scored at least 2 goals in 8 of the last 9 matches, of course, and they come into this looking very, very good. Of course, it's over in Leicester. Of course, next week or next time around, it will be over in Portugal. The odds on this one, 11-8 on Leicester City are your stone cold favourites, 11-4 is your 7-2 is your away win for Braga. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough, of course, when you look at the form book of Braga unbeaten in 5 or winning 5 on the spin at least. It's going to be a tough old boot. But I'm going to go with Leicester. I believe in them at home. I think they'll get the W, and then it might be a case of reversing the scoreline next time around. But of course, big W for Leicester as they move on. Next up, AC Milan against Lille, and a very, very difficult, horrible group for Celtic, this one. Anyway, these two sides have played each other at least twice in the past. It's actually been 1-1 for Lille, nothing for AC Milan. Last time the was in Italy in 2006. It was a 2-0 Peter Ontemwengi on the score sheet for Lille and Abdelkader Keita on the score sheet for Lille as they came out with a big fat W in Italy. However, coming into this, Lille have actually failed to win 11 of the last 12 matches in the Europa League, whereas AC Milan are actually undefeated in the last 5 matches in the Europa League because they came through the old qualifying net to play some Mickey Mouse teams, of course. Heading into this, AC Milan looking very, very good across domestic and European action, of course, unbeaten at least 5 games, picking up 4 wins and a draw in the process. Meanwhile, same could be said for Lille, unbeaten in 5 games, both in domestic and Europa League action. Back-to-back draws for them, though, in their fixture list. Heading into this, what do we have on the odds? It's 10-7 on AC Milan stone cold favourite, 7-2 is your away win. That is Lille. 3-1 is your draw. I'm going with AC. Of course I am. I believe in Zlatan. I believe in AC, and I think they're going to go pick up some silverware this season. Whether it's in this or in domestic top flight, we'll see. Celtic take 1 Sparta Prague in the same group, of course. These is 3rd against 4th on this one. Yes, of course, Celtic in 3rd, Prague are in 4th. These two sides played each other twice in the past. Both of them friendlies. It's actually been 1 win apiece back in 2018, 2015. We're not really going to go into that too much. But Sparta Prague have actually lost the last 3 matches in the Europa League, and they've also conceded at least 2 goals in the last 4 matches as well. Coming into this, Celtic without a win in 4 games, lads. Oh my goodness. They're going to be taking on Aberdeen tomorrow, so that's going to be a bit fruity as well. Meanwhile, Sparta Prague, a bit of the same deal here, without a win in 2. Last time they were a victory for them was back in the 3rd of October against Jablonec, a 2-1 win and the Czech top flight. Look at the odds on this one. What do we have? It's Celtic 2-1 on. Stone cold favourites 5-1 is your away win. That's Prague. 10-3 is your draw on this. I'm going with Celtic 2-0 win in the house. Let's take it to the bank and then hopefully move a little bit closer to potentially qualifying in that top 2 spot. We'll have to see. Silversport gets quite a bag. These two sides never played each other in the past, but they come into this both looking absolutely terrible form at the moment. Quite a bag, back-to-back defeats for them in the Europa League. I'm not too sure what's going on domestically, if there's games going on or not. But Silversport have actually lost the last 4 matches in the Europa League. They're actually and they've also conceded at least 2 goals in the last 4 matches as well in the Europa League. They come into this 3-game losing run. Of course, the last victory was against Kayaspor and the Turkish top flight back in the middle of October. It was a 3-1 win for them. Look at the odds on this one for Silversport. What do we got on the Silversport, bad boys? Where do we have the Silversport? Do we have the Silversport? Do you see them? There they are. 5-4 for Silversport. They are the favourites. 11-5 is your away win. That's quite a bag. 9-4 is your draw. I'm going with a draw. I don't know too much about the Turkish flight or the Quadabag flight, so we'll have to just I'm going to put it right down the middle. Villarreal against Maccabi Tel Aviv on this one. Now these two sides have played each other a couple of times in the past, at the very least. It's actually been 1 win for Maccabi Tel Aviv, nothing for Villarreal, and 1 draw. Last time they played each other was in Spain. It was a 1-0 win for Maccabi Tel Aviv. Nick Blackman, I think that's an extra over right there. 60 minutes on the clock for that bad boy back in 2017. I don't know where's Nick. I'm going to do a bit of a Google right now. I want to know where Nick Blackman is right now. I think he might be in the Mediterranean somewhere. He is. He's still there. He's still in Maccabi Tel Aviv. Well done. They come into this Maccabi Tel Aviv unbeaten in 3 games. They did lose to Salzburg in the Europa League couple of games back. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Villarreal looking very good in the domestic flight, and of course out in Europa League, unbeaten at least 5 games for them. Look at the odds on this one then. Villarreal. 9-4 on. Stone cold favourites. 11-2 is your away win. That is Maccabi Tel Aviv. 7-2 is your draw on this. I'm going Villarreal, despite the fact that Maccabi Tel Aviv have an extra over in the team. I'm going to give it to Villarreal. Good evening. Ludogorets Razgrad against Spurs. Of course, Spurs need a result here. They've never played each other in the past, but they come into the second, those Spurs in the group, and they need to get themselves back into contention. Of course, Real Antwerp and Lacitch looking comfortable at the moment. They come into the Spurs, just 1 defeat the past 5 games. That was, of course, against Antwerp just the other day. Before that, 4-game unbeaten run, of course, picking up big wins against United, draws against West Ham and Lacitch, and of course, that them 6-fingered banjo players, Burnley, of course. Heading into this, though, on the flip side, Ludogorets Razgrad just 1 win the past 4. That was against Montana out in the Bulgarian top flight, of course. Look at the odds on this one. Spurs, where are you? Spurs. I just saw them. I just caught them. I just saw them again. There they are. 30-2 for Ludogorets Razgrad. 4-1 is short. 11-4 on. A lot Tottenham for the victory, of course. Mourinho slammed out some of his players, called them out to say, step up to the plate. Even with the introduction of the big boys at half-time or midway through the second half or whatever, they could not get themselves a result against Antwerp. But, of course, they need one this one, and I think they'll get it with a 3-1 win in the end. Next up, though, the Battle of the Big Boys. That's not really the Battle of the Big Boys, but anyway, Antwerp taking on Lacitch, of course, out in the Belgian top flight. Coming into this, Antwerp 5-game unbeaten run for them. Actually, 5-game winning run, should I say, both across the Europa League and, of course, and the Europa League. On the flip side, Lacitch just won defeat the past 4. That was against Spurs. 3-0 loss away days for them. So two teams looking good at the moment. In touch and distance, of course, of the tip of the top there. Anyway, look at the odds on this one. What do we have on this? Where is Lacitch? I can't see them. Sometimes the odds aren't in there. It's there, though. 30-10 for Antwerp for the victory. 30-5 is draw. 9-5 is your away win. That is the Austrian team, Linz. I'm going with a 1-1 draw on this one. I don't think it's as easy as you can tell from that one, so I'm playing it safe with a draw. Next up, final against CSK Moscow, of course. These two sides actually played each other in the past. It was back in 2008. It was in the Europa League. It was a 3-1 win for the Russians. That's right. Alesky Bashkushki on the score sheet with Wagner Love with a couple of goals as well. I'm going to Google Wagner Love. Sometimes you just see a name and you want to know what's going on with the lad. So I'm going to Google the Wagner, who plays for Kazakhstan Premier League team Kairat. He's 36 years of age, still knocking on, still playing. Anyway, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst on the score sheet for final back in 2008. Heading into this, CSK Moscow unbeaten in 5 games, picking up 3 wins and 2 draws in the Post-OS. Meanwhile, Feyenoord, without a win in 4. They've drawn a lot of games out in the Dutch flight, of course. They lost to Wolfsburg just the other day. Could be a bit of a blip right now for Feyenoord on this one. Quick look at the odds on this one. 7-5 for Feyenoord. 9-5 is your away win. CSK Moscow, 12-5 is your draw. Feyenoord need a result and they need it now, but I don't think it's going to come. I'm going to give them another draw, 0-0 in the end. Zagreb taking on Wolfsburg, of course. This in the same group. It's in the same group. Yes, it is. These two sides didn't play each other in the past. Zagreb coming to this unbeaten in 5 games, both in Europa League action and the Czech. Croatian top flight, of course. On the flip side, Wolfsburg just won defeat the past 4 for them, losing to Rapid Vienna in Austria. 7-goal thriller on that bad boy, of course. Was that? That's not. That was. Yeah, it was. They actually had back-to-back 7-goal thrillers. In fact, tell a lie. They actually wasn't the game preview just now, wasn't it? It was a 5-goal thriller. But anyway, they've scored 7 goals in the past 2 games. That's incredible right there. So great attacking philosophy for Wolfsburg. Can they turn it into points against a difficult Zagreb? We'll take a closer look at it then. 11-8 on Zagreb by Stankofer. 7-2 is your away win. That is Wolfsburg. 11-4 is the draw on this one. You really should go probably with Zagreb, but I'm going with the goal scoring machine. That is Wolfsburg right now to take the 3 points and the goals. That's right. Next up, Hoffenheim against Slovan Liberec, of course. Final one, a final group, should we say. Heading into this, Hoffenheim without actually 2 wins at the past 5 games to them. On the flip side, same could be said for Liberec, 2 wins at the past 3 games to them. Of course, losing to Red Star, bit of a spanking last time around. Hoffenheim, of course, top the group at the moment. Slovan Liberec are 3rd. Quick look at the odds on this one. What do we have on this? 4-1 on. Hoffenheim are your favourites. 5-1 is your draw. 9-1 is your away win. That is Slovan Liberec. Of course, I'm sticking with Hoffenheim. I think they'll take the W on this one quite comfortably with a clean sheet to boot. And wrapping it up, it will be Red Star Belgrade, aka Cvina Sudvenza, taking on Ghent, of course. Red Star Belgrade sitting 2nd at the moment, picking up a win and a defeat so far in the campaign. They come to this just 1 win in the past 4 for them, though. That was against, of course, Liberec last round. Big win for them, though. On the flip side, Ghent looking absolutely terrible at the moment across domestic football and, of course, in Europa League action, losing 4 on the spin. Of course, they've never played each other in the past, but we'll tell you what the odds are on this one. It is 4-3 on Red Star Belgrade. Stunko Ferris 3-1 is your draw. 31-10 is Ghent on this one. Long shots. I'm sticking with a draw. Yeah, I don't know why I went with the draw. I was actually feeling a Red Star Belgrade victory there, but I'm going to stick with the draw. That's what I've said on paper, so we'll go with it in the end. That's what I think will happen in match number 3 and the Europa League. Be sure to get your predictions in nice and early for yourselves. Of course, this should be going live on Halloween. The spooks and scares are coming to a close. There's not really much in this one. But anyway, be sure to get your picks in nice and early, of course. That's it, my friends. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. If you're new, bang the old subscribe button, of course. Keep your bang up to date with all things Europa League related, Blackburn Rovers related. Whoa, football related. We got it all here, boys. Under Waruski. And again, if you want to support the channel in another way, you can check out the link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. You can become the latest VIP member of the exclusive map here. That is the Overseas patrons. So get stuck in there if you want to support the channel in another way. Until then, though, of course, we give the video some loving. Smash subscribe. I'll see you all very soon for the next round of Europa League picks, which will be match day number 4. Is that before or after the international break? I don't know. But anyway, that's it, my friends. I'll see you all very soon. Stay safe. And I'll see you.